So everybody, this is my response to Joshscorchers Top 10 Overrated Games. Alright, I'm gonna actually use the audio of the video, and if he doesn't like it, well, he can just DMCA it because he's got 36,097 subscribers. I have a feeling I'm gonna get a DMCA for this, but I really don't care. Oh boy. An intro of basically all the games on this list. Way to simplify it. Fiery Joker?
Why do I do this to myself?
You do this to yourself because you think you're cool having a different opinion than most people. Hey, I tried it once, having a different opinion than most people. It is fun for the half of it, but God, does it bring all your credibility down. Especially if you have a different opinion just for the sake of having a different opinion instead of just following the herd. Have a different opinion for your real opinion.
Okay, there are a lot of games that receive a lot of attention for various aspects of their design, whether they perfect a formula, innovate, or promote nostalgia. But the thing is, sometimes a game receives too much attention. Here, I count down the games I consider to be the most overrated. Now, let me get this out of the way. Overrated does not mean I hate these games. In fact, most of these games I like. I just feel that these games get more attention than they deserve, hence the term overrated. So because of that...
Well, thanks for giving us a little bit of a lesson on the word overrated. Be sure to, tell us how to breathe next time, or tell us what's underrated, because what's overrated and underrated can't possibly mean the opposite of overrated. So please, next time, tell us what the definition of underrated means.
that certain games I personally hate will not be on this list. Like Okami. While I think it's a repetitive, frustrating, and stupid waste of time,
You mean like watching this video? That's just my opinion.
I can see why people like it, so it's not on the list. Same with Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I can see why people like this game. Even though I personally feel it's stale, step down from a blend with too many inconveniences to warrant. Okay, I'm rambling. Start the list.
Really didn't want to do it because he'd get too much hate for it. Number 10, oh boy. What's this?
Batman Arkham City is one of my favorite games of all time. It's on my top 25 in fact. And you know what? A lot of people agree with me. But seriously, people, I think you need to calm the heck down. When this game was released, gamers swore to attack anyone who had the audacity to score this game lower than a 9. Now that happens with a lot of games nowadays, but here's the thing that tips it in Batman Arkham City's favor. Yahoo Games gave Batman Arkham City a 6 out of 5.
That's outrageous. I will agree with you there. That is outrageous. The game was good, but it wasn't that good.
If there's one fan base I can't stand, it's the Sonic fan base. They are downright unpleasable.
Just before anybody else is commenting that's a fanboy of his, you're just jealous. I'm not jealous of anybody. I am my own person, and to be jealous of somebody just because they have lots more subscribers than me because I'm too lazy to do the math. I'll probably do it at the end of the video and you'll probably get to see it. But Who cares?
Hey, guess what? Sonic
That's
isn't
getting
always
edited out.
perfect. The Sonic fanbase is so quick to denounce the evils of Sonic Heroes, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, when they need to realize that the
It's funny that you say that because people really like Sonic Colors.
as good as they think they are, particularly Sonic Adventure 2 battles. Now, I like Sonic Adventure 2 battle. I pop it in every now and again. But seriously, people, this game wasn't as good as you think it was. While this game did have great level design, for the most part, it pulled crap you would never get away with nowadays. Like playing the game twice. Yeah, that makes a successful game, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. If a game has replay value, then people are going to play it a lot longer. And if the copy breaks, people are going to swarm the store to get a new copy because they love the game so much. And replay value, and sure, I would not be talking about replay value, but still, playing a game more than once is, well, I don't know, kind of the game's purpose. To make you want to come back for more, make you want to, maybe with some games, just make you want to go right out with it, throw it right on the back burner and say, this is a terrible game. Let's continue.
And of course, the voice and audio control for these games were terrible.
Have no fear. Amy Rose is here.
You have a point there.
The main argument I'm trying to put forward here is you can't trash later Sonic games for mistakes that earlier ones made. That's just not fair.
You kind of have a point there.
I love Valve. They have such great business practices. They constantly listen to user feedback, and they playtest their games to near perfection. Portal is in my top 50 favorite video games of all time. Left 4 Dead 2 is in my top 25. Team Fortress 2 in my top 5. And Half-Life 2 is... it's by no means a bad game, but I would really hesitate to lavish it with the same amount of praise everyone else has. Okay, let's see what people praise this game for. The graphics, yes, I can see that at the time. The gameplay, oh, sure, it's functional, but it's nothing spectacular. The music, other than radio, nothing sticks out. The story, I found it incredibly confusing.
Maybe it's because you don't play games for the story. It's because you play games to, oh, I don't know, witness explosions and set pieces and slow motion sequences that take up, no, I don't know, 5 minutes just to show somebody sliding down a ladder. Sure, I've played games like Wet that has all that, and I love those games to death, but still. And no, the story of the first one doesn't really add on to the second one. The second one basically branches off to its own self, while maybe mentioning Half-Life 1 maybe once or twice with the beginning of riding into City 17, but what?
That's because I never played the first one, I don't know. The gravity gun, sure was fun, but I personally found that gimmicky.
But earlier in the video you said games gimmicks aren't bad, but something that's gimmicky is terrible. It's the worst thing that could ever happen.
And even so, there's a lot of things in this game that bug me. The vehicle section in this game control horribly.
I feel your pain
The
there.
levels are so gimmicky. Yes, Val, you have a physics engine. Please stop shoving it down my throat. Lastly, Gordon Freeman himself bugs me.
Like I said,
People are so quick to call Gordon Freeman one of the greatest video game characters of all time. He's just an empty shell. He is a zero-dimensional character where things just happen around him. In a game like Metroid Prime, it makes sense for the character to be silent.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Metroid Prime? Silent characters? You're going into an basically alienated place, and you think it's okay to be absolutely silent and calm about everything? No! Though I do see your argument in Half-Life 2. Having Gordon Freeman have a little bit of a personality could have been nice, but still, it doesn't make it a horrible game. And true, the game might be overrated, and the game might be, plastered all over the internet as one of the best games ever, and with its, mod from Gary, aka Gary's mod, definitely builds onto it, but I still don't see your argument here. I just don't. No, whoops. That's gonna be it out.
But not in a game like this, where characters are constantly talking, don't say he's supposed to be that way for immersion purposes. If that were the case, then why give him an iconic appearance?
Because that's what most people do, and it's a very smart idea to give an iconic kind of look.
Stop throwing it on a pedestal and worshiping it as the holy grail of PC gaming.
I bet you're the same person that says Mass Effect's the best game ever, especially the second one.
Yes, I did it. I put a Call of Duty game on an overrated games list. Are you happy now? Are you satisfied? Will you stop pestering me about it? Will you stop
Yes.
sending me hate messages about me liking Call of Duty over other FPSs? Will you stop ignorantly calling all Call of Duty games overrated?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Ignorantly? I think everybody who hates the Call of Duty series has definitely more reason than being ignorant just because it's popular. So we're gonna call it stupid and overrated. No, we have much more weight to our arguments than just that. Of it's popular, so it's stupid. No, we have much, 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 much more detailed opinions, and if you can hear that, that's my cat in the background, and I'm gonna kill him if he doesn't stop. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. And, where was I again? Oh yeah, Call of Duty is generic. It spawned the whole thing where people today don't want, actual story like you. You don't care for any story. And the people who don't want any, depth to their game, people that don't want a gimmick like you. Call of Duty isn't a gimmick. It is a terrible shooter at that, because, soldiers definitely just go or like that in the middle of combat. No, they go like, it's really stupid to think that you love the Call of Duty fan base might hate the Call of Duty fan base, but you like the games so much because explosions, set pieces, and slow motion sequences. I think there's a pattern to this.
If you arrogant fanboys can't tell the difference between a game that's trying to entertain you rather than trying to be realistic or compelling,
What? Woo-wee. I guess I can't tell what's entertainment. And don't use that stupid argument to say, you're just a 3-year-old who doesn't know anything. Shame on you. And shame on anybody who uses that argument against me. Just because somebody isn't as old as another or doesn't have the same height, doesn't have the same maybe weight as others, but it doesn't mean that their argument is invalid just because they're different. and they have differences from you, it means you should take their argument into context. You shouldn't just blindlessly say, "You're young, so you can't have an opinion." Blah, 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 blah. I've heard it all before, trust me. Anything doesn't surprise me. Wait. Let me think about that for a second. Oh, yep, I said the right thing.
Josh, focus!
I like that guy.
Fine. Yes, Black Ops is really the only Call of Duty game I consider to be overrated. Because
You call us fanboys, but then you mindlessly hide behind the fact that there's explosions, set pieces, and slow motion sequences in Call of Duty, which makes them the best game ever.
talk about Call of Duty, this game is most of the time the topic.
Which is a bullshit.
It bugs me admittedly more than it should, because I feel that the other Call of Duty games are much better. Call of Duty 4, great story, innovative multiplayer.
Innovative multiplayer, my ass.
World at War, wonderful campaign, hit or miss multiplayer. and
World
it's
of
so-
War, World at War was my baby.
My personal favorite of the franchise.
You
Modern
couldn't-
Warfare 3, pretty good. Didn't leave as much of an impact as I'd like it would, but it was still good. And Black Ops just irritates me. The gameplay feels so much slower and clunkier, and it doesn't flow as
Because it wants you to get into the story. For once, a Call of Duty game wants you to get into the story. I know it's hard for people to understand, but if you understand it nonetheless, then it can, compel you into the game, make you even more want to play it and the campaign instead of just mindlessly going on the multiplayer and being like, "Oh, you suck because you killed me." More like they're better than you, so stop complaining.
well like the previous games. Kind of like Brawl versus Melee. The multiplayer maps look pretty good, but I really have to call into question those COD points. And the campaign, okay, I liked 2 missions of them. I liked the Vorkuta mission and the Blackbird mission, but the rest of them were just so boring. And the story
It wasn't boring, asshole. It wanted you to get compelled into the story.
itself was stupid. I can see they were trying to go for an Assassin's Creed.
How is this even similar to Assassin's Creed? I clearly know nothing because I'm young. I really hate people.
Type narrative, but it just doesn't work.
Brainwashing, just brainwashing.
Black Ops is the lighting. It's just really off. Everything
Oh, I'm
about
sorry.
Black
Did you
Ops
want
is
tan again? Did you want...
Black Ops is hard to see. Oh my gosh, I just got it. Everything in Black Ops is hard to see.
That was a stupid joke. You should be shot down for doing
Even though
that.
I don't play Halo constantly, I appreciate these games. Halo 1, good story, simple and challenging gameplay, fun multiplayer, especially those pistols. Halo 3, great story, decent multiplayer, added Forge mode. Halo ODST, yeah, no one likes that one.
I do.
Reach, great characters, good story.
And no, I'm not just saying I like it to go against the grain and be like, "Oh, I like this game. Stop hating it." I legitimately enjoyed the single player campaign, playing Firefight with friends. It was hilariously fun to do. But just because it didn't really advance the story, which in a story-based game, I guess I can kind of agree with that, but yeah.
Story, phenomenal multiplayer. Halo
Reach
2.
phenomenal.
Halo 2 is
Die.
on this list because it's regarded as just as good as the other games. And, again, this bugs me more than it should. Halo 2's story is ridiculous. It wasn't enough for it to shut down any initial continuity. The game kept us in the dark story-wise for no good reason. It was beyond vague and
maybe you just couldn't know what the story was, just like Half-Life, because, Half-Life story is the most confusing thing ever. A mastermind tries to build a city to be a messiah, and you take him down because of all the stuff he's done. Wait a second. Make Gordon Freeman some guy 827 and make Dr. Breen Onision, and you've got a perfect YouTube game right there.
More exposition dumps at us. Oh, and of course, there was that lovely ending.
The ending laid you into the story of Halo 3 instead of just mindlessly going on the multiplayer to play with friends. How was that bad?
Player did very little to innovate. Yay, dual wielding! Other games did that first. They're a couple years late. Eagle.
Got it. So just because other games did it doesn't mean that, the game in particular that you're talking about means that it shouldn't do it because... Wait, let me restart this. Editing.
First, they're a couple years late.
Just because another game did it first means the other game can't do it to, try and advance the multiplayer. That's the kind of logic you're trying to portray. Okay.
Vehicle hijacking. Oh yes, the amount of times I used that was staggering. Bottom line, Halo 2 had a lackluster story, a multiplayer that did little to innovate.
It's not all about innovation. It's about having fun with other people. That's what the Call of Duty series doesn't know. Having fun with other people isn't, overpowered weapons, the same maps with the same stupid gradient color scheme. That's not fun.
And this game is just as good as the others?
Yes it is. Maybe even better. Oh, if you say so. Fuck off.
Resident Evil 4 is considered to be one of the greatest horror games ever, completely reinventing itself and delivering some truly horrific scares. To which I would disagree. Now, I don't hate this.
He
game,
said
but
a
it
smart
does
thing.
manage to legitimately scare me from time to time, and the gaminess can be
How does
really,
this game
really
scare you?
And the gameplay works well for the tone it creates. But there's quite a few things about this game that knock it down from perfection. Most glaringly, the quick time events. They come out of freaking nowhere, brutally punishing you for just wanting to sit back and enjoy a cutscene.
I agree.
It just sucks so much of your enjoyment out of the game. Warnings would be nice, and I know I complimented the campiness earlier, but there's a lot of times when it just sucks the mood of it.
Into a story. Sure, you can be like, I'm gonna kill people, boom, 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 and then don't care about the story if you skip every cutscene like I did on my first playthrough. Now on the Xbox 360, I'm playing through it again and loving the story. Basically, the story is that evil mastermind brainwashes the president, and the president sends the president's daughter with a special agent to stop the evil mastermind. That's basically it. And the story is better than most games. And I had a hell of a time playing through this game the first time I, played through it. But it wasn't about the story then. Now, when I play a game, I want to be into the story. I want to be enthralled. I want to know what's going on with the characters. I want to know what the characters mean. I want to know why the characters are there. I want to know everything. Except their life story. Actually, no. Even throw their life story in there.
And of course,
That's not a generic argument. Just because some other person doesn't like the Ashley feature doesn't mean everyone else has to agree. Sure, you know, having no multiplayer function and having two characters? What? Having none of that is kind of confusing, but on the other part, so what? There's other game modes that are particularly one player so that they can, you know, actually make you have fun, like Mercenaries mode. But then again, you'll have to beat the game and go through the Ashley story, go through the actual story. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, you skipped the cutscenes. Don't care about the story because all you want to do is shoot things, have explosions, and I don't even know if there's a slow-mo in this game. One scene that I know was highly popular just because it was decently cool was the laser scene. Anyways, moving on. Fuck. Go ahead, fail the game all the time as you want.
I love the Kingdom Hearts series. It is so much fun. These games are some of the best hack and slash engines ever put into video games. These games are so flashy, so ridiculously fun. But these games are just so stupid. While I love these games, as stories, these games leave a lot to be desired. I can handle the Disney Square Worlds crossing over until the characters show up. Sora is so annoying.
What? You hate on Morgan Freeman for being a shell of a person, which is highly understandable. But now, when somebody actually has a character design, you hate it. You absolutely just you want to just shoot them in the face.
He's completely one-dimensional and gets excited over everything.
Not really. But whatever you say, your fanboys will follow, so.
Also, there is way too much fan service in these games, particularly Final Fantasy 7 and 8. I detect a little bit of
Tetsuya Nomura wrote the main story for these games in Final Fantasy VII. So what? Using characters and Disney characters and Final Fantasy characters just because you made them, that means that you're bad. We hate you. Stop whining. Sure, there might be a lot of fan service because Leon's in the game for the Final Fantasy VIII fans, and sure, there might be a lot of fan service because Tifa, Aerith, and Yuffie, and don't forget Cloud and Sephiroth are in the game. Sure, people might love it for that, but still, who cares? It's their characters, they can do what they want with them.
bias from the writer. The characters either copy-paste lines verbatim from their source material and deliver them controversially, I guess, like we haven't heard them before. Adding on, they usually take what originally made these characters great and threw them out the window. The story is atrocious. It's excessively complicated and filled with so many awkward lines.
No. Fio, who else will have ice cream?
Really? That's your example? Roxas was a nobody. Roxas is supposed to be a nobody. Roxas is basically a keyhold wielder like Sora. Which makes the whole nobody thing kind of weird. But Roxas doesn't really have a lot of friends. Pence, Olette, and Hater are gone when he's doing this. They're long gone. So if you're going to tell me that just because he wants to have ice cream with somebody, sure, that might have not been the best last words, but as Virgil said from Don't May Cry, not very fitting for someone's dying words, but still, who cares? Well, true, the story might not advance by that, and true, Roxas might be Jesse McCartney on bath salts, but still, I don't get why Roxas doesn't have much friends, and this one's turning to ice.
Wow, Roxas. Shion will die happy knowing all you cared about was the ice cream. Could you imagine if they used that line in Titanic?
I'll never let go. I promise. Who else will I have ice cream with?
Nice joke. Just kidding.
You know, I think what made me hate Secret of Mana so much was what I was expecting from it. The story is unbearably cliched and beyond cryptic. The music, for the most part, is annoying. I could tell they were trying to do something unique here, but it wasn't always exciting. Sure, the graphics look nice and bright and colorful, but hey, so does Chrono Trigger in Final Fantasy VI. And lastly, the gameplay. A lot of people pointed out that co-op, one thing that will insta-sell a game for me, is featured in this game. And that would have been great if it were available at the beginning. Unlock the co-op. Allow me to appeal to your common sense. What sense does that make?
Hey, guess what, Josh? I just got this cool new game called Secret of Mana, and it has co-op. Well, come on, pop it in, let's play it. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, let's play some co-op. Man, this game sucks. Hey, it's no picnic for me either. I don't get it. This game said it had co-op in it. I don't know where the co-op is.
If you actually played a game for more than 5 seconds before saying, this is bad because it doesn't have explosions, then you know that you have to unlock co-op. In some games, you have to unlock co-op. Unless you're like Resident Evil 6 and have to appeal to the people who can't play alone and, make the Ada story have to have Agent, which is a useless character, and the only way they could have actually made it kind of meaningful was name him Hunk and put him in a biohazard suit. Or a special ops suit, whatever. Because Hunk was actually in Resident Evil 4. And, he was friends with Ada, with Leon, with all those people. But no, we're just gonna make Agent.
Wait a minute. We just got a new party member. Wait a second. You have to unlock the co-op.
It's not that big of a deal if you like playing a game. Sure, if you don't like playing a game and you only want to play it to a certain extent and then have fun with it. It's not that hard. Stop being a baby. Stop whining.
I believe so. Okay, man, you are freaking useless. Release. Why can't we share with ones getting better games?
The gameplay is...
So you're a Naruto fan.
How this game works...
That explains why you're completely ignorant for good games and explosions.
While that's fine and dandy for a boss battle, the local enemies that take about 3 to 4 hits, appear constantly, and have predictable attack patterns, it's pretty frustrating. I don't think whoever designed that menu interface and vertical butt stroked them. I hate this game. I really do.
Oh, it's
People
2.
rag on games like Call of Duty and Dynasty Warriors for being complete copy-paste sequels, but when Mario does it, why does it suddenly get a free pass?
Because Mario's Mario. I didn't like Super Mario Galaxy. I didn't like Super Mario Galaxy 2. I didn't like some of the Mario games. But I understood why they're the same. Because it's Mario. Who changes the Mario demographic? You have to be completely brain dead to know that Mario is gonna, pull out a gun and go boom, boom, boom. instead of just jump and make it a happy, jolly game. Shame on you for not knowing anything about the Mario series and saying, well, how come Mario gets off with a free pass when Call of Duty doesn't? You're a butthurt fanboy from Call of Duty. That's all I can literally say to you.
Super Mario Galaxy 2 is nothing more than an overglorified expansion pack. Music, copy-pasted. Levels, copy-pasted. Gameplay, copy-pasted. And before you say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, it was broken from the first one as well. There is no obstacle you can't clear with a long jump and a spin. Which brings me to how
Mario jumps. That's what he does.
insultingly easy this game is. The game is so afraid of you failing that it constantly holds your hand throughout the entire game. Green stars, fake difficulty. Grandmaster Galaxy, beat it first try. Lastly, the level design is very stale. Besides thematic clones from the first game, for a game with the word galaxy in the title, there's very little space in the game at all.
True.
The first game was able to pull off level themes while still making you feel like you were in space. This one just feels gimmicky. My point is, you can't just
And
go
at the
around
start of the
calling
video,
other
you said
games
gimmicks
copy-paste
weren't
sequels, but
bad.
then just ignore it when Mario does it.
Like I said before, that's what Mario does. Mario is Mario. There is nothing different from Mario except for he jumps, he's a plumber, he saves princesses. But when Call of Duty does it, it's the same game, copy and pasted. God! That's what Call of Duty is. It's a shooter. And while the people don't like first-person shooters, but you seem to love them. Oh, here's a little game that you might like that shit's on another series. It's called Hitman Absolution. Have you ever played it? I'm guessing it's Skyrim.
My number one most overrated game of all time is Tetris. Okay. Seriously, people, you're seriously going to call this game one of the greatest games of all time? Alright. You're telling me you would rather play Tetris than Metal Gear Solid 3?
Maybe we like playing both games, and we play them differently. Is that such a hard concept to understand? Tetris is a strategic game. Metal Gear Solid is a sneaking and action hybrid. Where's the connection?
You would rather play Tetris than Skyrim?
I thought you hated Skyrim because the masses liked it. Seems you are as I hate this because the masses hate it gimmick that you portray.
Would rather play Tetris than Team Fortress 2. You see where I'm going with this?
And all games are different than Tetris. They're not in the same kind of category. Some people like strategic games. Some people like all types of games. Is that such a hard concept to understand? No, people can only like one game, one type, one game series. We can like multiple things. We can like more than multiple things. We can like everything.
I see this game on dozens of best game ever lists, and it just doesn't deserve it. Now, before you go all ape on me, I am fully aware of the history behind Tetris and how much it impacted the NES's sales, but that's more of it being influential rather than a good game. When was the last time you actively sought out playing Tetris?
All the time.
When was the last time you thought, I don't think I'll...
I'm sorry I don't have a better footage to show you, but hey, this game isn't exactly exciting. The footage you're showing us is enthralling. It's amazing. I'm surprised you even lived through this, because you seem to have a burning hatred for Tetris so much that, you know, it's a strategic game. I'm sorry, you had to use your brain. Sorry, I forgot.
Want to play Battlefield 3? I think I want to play some Tetris.
Isn't Battlefield 3 a mindless shooter? I think so. Does it have explosions, set pieces, and slow motion scenes? More than Afterlife. But I don't see the connection to Tetris. Because there is none.
And it was you were waiting in line for something and had nothing else to do. I'm the fiery Joker, and I'll concede Tetris is a fun and challenging game, but it does not deserve to stand amongst the greatest games of all time.
You think just because you have a cool name and you have the I hate everything because the masses like it gimmick, just because you have that, you think that you're smart. Dear God, I'm going to mark you in my favorites bar and come back to this channel. But in all seriousness, I don't think I will be coming back because I really don't want to. Wait a second. Go back. FOB Equestria. I now have a little bit of respect for you because you like My Little Pony. Friendship is magic. But I still don't want to live on this planet anymore. See ya. But I have to come back here and, kind of just throw salt in your wounds. Just chuck it. Right, with the perfect aim, right into your wounds. Sure, I might have liked most of these games except for Resident Evil 4, but it's not because of those games that I came here for. It's because of the stupid way you think that, having to actually play the game to unlock multiplayer is stupid, which is why you're probably a Call of Duty fanboy. I can't believe I didn't make that connection. I feel stupid now.